Hey, social psych class. This is Professor Ray. This is your class overview. So I hope you get a chance to pay attention to this one because I'm going to give you lots and lots of hints in the best way to go about acing the course and just making sure you're familiar with it. So hopefully you got to see the first intro video, a couple minutes, just me flap and tell you a little bit about me. So the first thing I want to show you is when you log into our class, the homepage, at this point it looks like this. It'll look a little bit different. But the first thing I would probably want you to jump into when you come on is going to be, hopefully you get a chance to look at the syllabus. So if I click here on the left to the syllabus, you'll read a little bit about the class, but there's some things I specifically want you to kind of see. So it tells you like a typical syllabus, the course objectives, the section, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff that's blah. But as we come down here, you'll see some links. So course communication office hours. I won't open this up because it's slow to load, but let me just say this, office hours. Technically, I'm supposed to be online office hours about an hour and a half a week. Folks, I'm typically on my computer 6-8 hours a day. So I will try to be on generally at 11 o'clock most weekdays. I occasionally even check on the weekend, and I'm on often during the day. Part of me feels really bad for students because online can be effective, but it can also be difficult. I get that. That's why I think you're going to find that the way I've set the course up, it maximizes your success, and I try to make it as easy and as engaging as I can. I love teaching face-to-face because some of you may not even know that I'm pretty interactive in the class, and we have discussions and demonstrations, and I laugh and you laugh, and it's a wonderful, wonderful face-to-face encounter. But because of this COVID bullshit stuff, we don't get to do it as much. So I'm online. Send me a message in Canvas. If you look at the left-hand side by inbox, if you've not done this before, you click on the inbox to your left. It'll open up a window you can see to right. Click on your class. It'll give you your schedule. Click on our class. It'll say, teacher, click on my name, write me a note. I'll get back to you. And I do that often. So even though I'm only supposed to be on an hour or so, you'll catch me responding often. I just want you to have feedback, and I don't want you to go a couple days without hearing from me. So I try to get information done and back to you instantly. In fact, when you do your discussions, which we'll talk about in a minute, they're due by a certain time, like the last time you can post for your replies, like it's 11:59 p.m. on a Thursday. I try to grade your stuff. You'll have your stuff graded before Friday morning is over, before noon. I like to have your grading done. So let's cover. Let's look at attendance. It's all asynchronous, which we don't have any lectures. There's nothing that is in a class or Zoom. You don't have to, except if you want to do a one-on-one meeting with me, which I love to chat. Let's chat and hang out. Tell me about how amazing you are. I already know you're amazing, but you can do that. Textbook I already told you about, and I'll tell you about it again in a minute. The best thing about submitting work late and late work is don't do it. I have a general guideline I would love for you to do. It's the easiest way to ace the course. I call it my 24-hour rule. Whenever something is due, just make it a point to turn it in 24 hours in advance. Discussion, your original post is due on a Tuesday night. Have your original post done by Monday night. Your replies are due by Thursday at 11:59 p.m. Have them done by Wednesday. Quizzes, I always put out 2 to 3 weeks in advance the coursework, so you can work ahead. And I'll show you the schedule. You can kind of see the exams, though, when we have midterms. I think I have a couple of midterms. Those are only put out like a week in advance, but that's okay. Grading. Let's look at grading. So in the grading stuff, you have assignments. 10% on assignments, 10% on chapter quizzes. If you have a bad chapter quiz, I drop the score. I do not have my exams or my quizzes timed. That means you could take all the time you want to look at your notes or something else. Ace the quiz, ace the exam. Discussion boards, 20%. I want you to interact, and so I give those. And 20% is mastery training. Let me explain this. And for those of you who don't watch this video, you're going to chunk this, and you're going to be whining because you're going to get so little points on your first week's mastery training. When we get started with mastery training, folks, mastery training is designed for you to learn the content. It's like studying, and I give you points for it. All you have to do is spend time on it. But if you've never done mastery training, it's set up on something called distributive learning, which means it'll kind of tell you a concept, a sentence. It'll show you a big picture of a sentence. And then they'll give you another sentence. Then they'll ask you a question about that first sentence. Was this, what was the answer to this? And it was the sentence you just read. You answer it correctly. And it'll keep asking you questions over and over again. It's pounding it into your brain. But after a little while, it's going to kick you out. It says, go away. You got to come back later to move it across. So, excuse me, what you want to do is in that particular chapter, you'd have to wait several hours because science tells us actual optimal study time is 15 to 20 minutes. After that, diminishing returns, you don't remember as much. So come back. Now, if you really wanted to stay with your mastery training, here's a big hint. Go to the next chapter and start mastery training there. It'll slowly build you across until it gets you to 100%, gives you maximum points. If you try to do mastery training on the last day, you're going to get partway across and you're going to say, I wanted to do it, but it kicked me out and I couldn't get back in. It's because you didn't watch this video. So start your mastery training early, and if you want to continue with it and it kicks you out, just go to another chapter. Okay, 20% on mastery training, you have 2 midterms, 10% of the first one, 10% of the second one, and then your final. Okay, Canvas will total everything up. Here's the thing. With Cengage, 99% of the time, it'll always transfer your Cengage quiz score or your mastery training. It transfers it into Canvas Gradebook. About 3 or 4 or 5 times a semester, it won't transfer into the student's gradebook. So watch to make sure that what you do in the Cengage app, the Mind app, it transfers into the gradebook. And if not, send me a note and I'll just go in and look and I'll say, yeah, it just from some reason didn't populate that field, and I'll hand do it for you in that way. Okay? If you notice here, if you get the end of the semester and you're getting close to a grade, don't whine about your grade. I'm a fan of you. My students are amazing, so I will bump it. If 90 to 100% is an A and you're at 89.4 or something, I'll give it to you. Also, in the last few weeks, I may offer you some extra credit. In the grading section, it doesn't say I offer extra credit, but I might because I'm a nice guy. You owe me a cookie, though. Okay, so let's go back to the modules real quick. So we go back to modules. And I want to show you how we typically go through. So on the first day, if we're coming through, the first week is always challenging, folks. So when you come to this spot here, the first day, click here to get started on your Cengage text activities. Everything is right here. Open up your Cengage account. Here's an important thing, save you some money. If by chance, if you're taking other courses, if you have another course in which a Cengage text is used, if you're taking sociology or math and they're using a Cengage book, click in Cengage Unlimited, because then it groups all of your books into a lower price, much lower than if you bought them individually. If this is the only Cengage course that you have a Cengage text in or platform, just go ahead and you can pick up your first couple of weeks for free here. Try it, because maybe you decide you don't want to take social psych or something happens and your work schedule changes and you have to drop in the first week or two. They give you the first 2 weeks for free. And then as you get closer to the 2 weeks, say, hey, do you want to purchase? And you can do it right through here. Okay? If you get stuck with Cengage or there's a problem, here's the technical support. You can click here. It opens up. Now, in week 1, notice I don't even give you any text assignment. The biggest problem in the first, in online training, folks in school, is the first week, because everything is new and they don't know the platform and the assignments are how do you work this and how do you get around. So I don't even give you any text assignments. Just focus on getting your text platform set up. Do your original discussion board. And this first one is cake. It's not like the other ones, which I'll tell you about in a second. You're just going to basically tell me who you are, what you're doing here, what you're looking for, Piece of cake. Takes you 5 minutes. This is a 15-point assignment here, and all you're really doing is clicking on this, watch a little video. It shows you how to put an image in your profile. It lets me know that you know how to navigate the system. So Tuesday, it lets you know. Make your original post. Do this Canvas profile assignment. Here's the quiz on APA citing. So when you open this up, there'll be a couple of short videos you can watch. You can even keep it open when you take your quiz. I don't care. I want you to get an A. You can watch that for Tuesday, and then by Thursday, just click on this, and it'll open up the quiz, the APA style plagiarism quiz. Make sense? Okay, notice here, discussion board part 2, replies due by Thursday at 11:59. Always, original post due on Tuesday, reply due on Thursday. Okay, let's go forward because I want to show you the next week. This is that first week, and it's just a little busy work. All of this stuff here, folks, would take you less than a half an hour. Just jump on it. Don't get panicky. Students get panicky because they get lost or something. But if you get stuck, let me know, and we'll help out. So we go forward into week 2. So what I didn't mention, each week you can click on the announcement and agenda. The first week's announcement agenda looks like a lot, but it's only me explaining all those little assignments and stuff, and you can read that. But week 2, I'd click on week 2, and it looked very similar to this. This is what it would look like. Tells you the chapter. We're introducing the chapter, and you'll be settling into a consistent routine. The reading material is your social chapter 1. What is social psych? You have your discussion assignment, mastery training. And when you see this, look what I say right here in red. Start early on your mastery training. Monday is a good time to start. I've had students, folks, who literally go across, and I look in the grade book, and their chapters, they're doing mastery in the first couple of weeks all the way through the book. They're getting like, it shows 10% done in chapter 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They got kicked out, but they just kept going. And so by week 5 or 6, you could be done with your mastery training for the whole semester. And then just do your study stuff. So do your original post, piece of cake, by Tuesday at 11:59. By Thursday, knock out your reply. The quiz is due on Fridays. There's always a chapter quiz when we start the text. Again, it's untimed. Use your notes, use whatever. Ace that bad boy. And then by Friday at 11:59, your mastery training is due. So after that, you can study it, but it's not going to give you any points. And this is what it's going to look like each week. Really simple agenda. Just kind of let you know what it is. Remember the 24-hour rule. Try and turn it in 24 hours ahead of time. So if we back up, let's go back to modules. So if we go into this, I want you to see that it really looks very similar. Each week you'll see announcements and agenda. It tells you what to do. I even give you big hints. Start your mastery training early. Why is it doing that? I don't know. So let's move on. Here's your, if you want to act without going into the left column, every week you go in, if you're in week 1, I put a little link in here, right here, Wednesday. You don't have to do it on Wednesday. You can do it anytime you want. Here's just chapter 1. It shows you, you can just go right into whatever chapter you're working on. If I'm in week 1 and I just want to go right to that part of the text, click right there. It opens it right up for you. Each week I'll put that link right there. It says to do for Wednesday. You can read anytime you want. But notice, Tuesday, it was due by 11. Your original post, I'll show you what it looks like because I made it really fun for you this time. And then by Thursday, do your reply. Notice, chapter quiz. Oh, I did forget to mention something. I'm only going to count, I think, 10 quizzes. So if you have a few lousy ones, I'm only going to count. Did I drop the low one? You might have to look on the syllabus. We could check it. But I give you the opportunity to drop low ones. I think. We'll see. I'll look at it again. And then again, finish mastery training. Don't start it here. This is when it's due. That's why I say up above, move it. What are you doing, Dad? Okay. So notice at the beginning, to do for Monday, start your mastery training because it's due Friday night. Okay? So I want to show one last thing. Mastery training says it's due. You can access it there. You might access it there, but it's due at that time. You don't start at that time. And if you notice again, it's the same thing. Here's the announcements and agenda. Oh, I wanted to show you the discussion. So, last thing, and then we'll be done pretty early. So, if you hit your discussion board, after week 1, they all say the same thing. I'll show you why. I'm clicking on it. Folks, if you want to ace your discussions, follow these simple guidelines. Reply on time. If you do not turn in an original post by 11:59 on Tuesday, you will get 0 points. You get 0. If you do a beautiful original post, but you forget to reply to a peer, you get a 0. You've got to do all parts of the assignment to get any credit. So on the first week, I give you some guidelines because, folks, I want you to make sure you can cite. You understand how to cite APA style, but I give you, it's real simple. If you haven't done it, don't trip on it. You want to cite in the body of your text at least one time, and 99% of students do it in their original post because you find something you're interested in, and then you find it and you put the quote in there, and then you cite it in the body of the text, and then you reference it at the end. I'll give you an example. So I used an example from 101. So if you were using, other than hard copy, if I was using in the body of the text, I could put in text right here, I could put our author of our text. This is Cicerelli's 101 book. So our book is a little different. Cengage book is different. The author is different. But you would just put the author, the year, and then this is just a learning objective. If it's not a page, sometimes in the electronic versions they don't put pages. They just put your learning objectives 1.04, and that's all you would put in the body of the text. So you'd write, Cicerelli stated, da, 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 da. And then in parentheses you put Cicerelli White, 2020, this is for 101, PLO 1-4, whatever that was, wherever it was. At the end of the post, you would just put in the reference at the very bottom, just put the author of the text, the year, and that's all you'd put. That's it, in that way, in text. Piece of cake. I give you a few examples. If you get stuck, go to Purdue Owl online, PERDUEOWL, Purdue Owl, and it'll come up on a page, and just you'll see basics of APA citing. It's easy, folks. Piece of cake. So once you make sure you understand citing, and the last thing, and we're almost done. Every week it's this. This is your original post. Look at the chapter we're in. It'll say exactly this. There are so many fascinating subjects. In social psych is such a fun, fascinating course. So in the discussion, in that chapter, pick something that you thought was cool and answer the following questions in your original post. Why did you like it? What was fascinating about it and why? And then if you've had any experience with it, or if you can think of somebody who's had an experience with it, or imagine what it would be like having that experience if you didn't have that experience. Easy, folks. Reading the chapter, you're going to read some amazing stuff. And just say, oh, that's pretty cool. You know what? I had an experience like that. And you're in to go. You're going like that. So the goal is make sure you cite in text and then reference it at the bottom of the post, the text. Aim for at least two quality paragraphs of at least 5 to 8 sentences. Piece of cake. And turn it in on time. And again, you can download Grammarly.com, Grammarly. It's a free punctuation and grammar system. It'll check your work. Turn it in. And I'm only having you reply to, if you noticed, on Thursday, read at least one of your colleagues, your peers, friends, post and comment. And do the exact same thing. You don't have to cite unless you didn't cite in your original post. And then just give them a couple of good paragraphs. What you thought. Why'd you like it? What was interesting? Don't diss them. Don't bash them. If you disagree, just say, well, I had kind of a different opinion or a different experience. I had this. But, be polite. You guys are good. You guys are awesome at that. Okay? So I hope this makes sense. That's pretty much the whole semester. Midway through the semester, you'll see, and I think I can get it if you go back to the syllabus or basic course schedule, which I can kind of show you. You'll see a midterm, and I'll notice if I'm scrolling kind of fast, but if you look, if we go to here it is, week 8. It's chapter 7 and midterm 1. So if we scroll through, same exact thing. Start your mastery training. Here's the agenda. Discussion board. Do your discussion board. It's on the chapter of conformity. Do your chapter, read it whenever you want to. Do your quiz on Thursday. Knock out your your peer reply by Thursday. And by Sunday, 11:59, the midterm is due. Much more points. It's based on the first half of the chapters. I think the first 7 chapters. Yeah. And then the second midterm will be on the second half. Okay? So, if we go all the way back up, so let me, super fast. I know I'm taking about 20 minutes, folks, but I really want you to get a sense of how to knock this out, and it's probably the only time you need to do it. But if you get stuck, keep coming back to the syllabus. If you're stuck, contact me. Go right through the modules, but I wanted to check something for you on the grading, and hopefully it's true. I want to make sure I put this in here for you. Okay, 10% on chapter quizzes. So if you have a chapter quiz that you just bomb, or you just don't want to do one, you've done them all, you're doing really well, that's okay. I'm not going to score your lowest one. Same on your discussion board. If you have a discussion board where maybe you forgot to turn it in on time, and you just get the 0. That 0 is wiped out. Cool. Does it make sense? And as we get close to the end of the semester, let me know as we're doing. You'll always be able to contact me. I want you to have a fun time, folks. Social Psych is such an amazing class. It really is. I haven't taught it in a few years because other faculty who's been here longer than me snag it up and I don't get it. But I got a chance to do it this time. It's really fun. I think you're going to learn a lot about yourself and people. Again, I'm here to support you. You're amazing. I want you to have a fun semester. Contact me if you get stuck. Have a wonderful semester, and we will see you online. Oh, on discussions, I'll always make comments. Always make comments. And if you don't get a 10 out of 10, I will tell you why and what you might need to do to get that 10 out of 10 or 100% on it. Okay? All right.